If there's a God, no. Will furries ever go mainstream? If there is a God, then absolutely not. I've said it before. I think God has abandoned us. I don't know when. I don't know what it was or why it was. But I think God has abandoned us. Or maybe we have abandoned God. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But furries are about to go mainstream. At least I saw this article. I was like, let me fire up another stream and talk about this. I'm freezing my nuts off out here in my studio. The fucking garage. Have some whiskey. So I feel a little warmer. Take this shirt off. No way, Mexican guy. It's too cold right now. Too cold. Too cold. Ask me when things warm up. Maybe you get your view. We'll start our OnlyFans. How about that? Now, I saw this article. I was like, man, this cannot be true. But of course it is. They want furries to go mainstream. They want furries to go mainstream. Oh, looks like OBS. Looks like I'm dropping frames. I'm dropping frames and buffering like shit. Looks like it's holding steady now. Let's see if it holds steady. That green energy. And it's not even about the energy. It's Xfinity right now. I don't want my internet running on green energy. I'll tell you that much right now. Green energy is going to save us. Yeah. When turbines freeze, it doesn't do us any wonders, does it? Stupid stuff. Let's talk about this. Furries wanting to go mainstream. I saw this. I saw it. The furries were freaking out. They're freaking out because it was going mainstream. They don't want it to go mainstream because they want furries to remain degenerate. They want furrydom to remain what it is. And what that is? Degenerate. Absolutely degenerate. I had an OnlyFans guest on Hard Talk Radio. I do that every now and then because sometimes I like to ask them silly questions. And also get perspective. She was not a fan of furries. She didn't even know what it was. But when we went into it, it's like, no, not a fan. Most people are not a fan of furries. Most normal people are not a fan of furries. If you are a fan of furries, you're not normal. If you have to wear a fursuit to go yiffing, is that the phrase? I don't know what it's called when they butt fuck each other in fursuits. No. Like, if you want to be a freak, just wear Judas Priest bondage gear. I don't know what to tell you. Okay? But when you have to dress up as Tony the Tiger to butt fuck another Tony the Tiger. What the hell are you doing, man? But I saw this article here on Rolling Stone. Great magazine, right? Rolling Stone. They're the same magazine that put out that Mattress Girl, right? Yeah, same magazine. Rolling Stone has to cover this because Rock is dead. Instead of talking about music and rock or whatever, talk about furries. Great. Love that. Debate me, you coward. All my homies hate Texas. I like Texas. Texas has some good things about it. Bad things about it. Are coming to mind right now. How they maintain the power plants. What's the point of having your own grid if you can't power your own grid? Power your own fucking grid. But that's a different stream. I already covered that. Anyway, let me put this article up here. We'll go over it. We'll go over it live. I'm sure it'd be a lot of fun. What do you guys think? You think furries should be mainstream? You want furries to be reading at school? Because that's coming. That's coming. That's next. Can I show more Space Marines versus furries? That was amazing. That's how we're going to end this. That's how we're going to have to redeem this. Texas belongs to Mexico. Not anymore, don't. You had a chance to take it. But you guys got fucked out. I said you guys. Well. And Mexico once belonged to Spain. So what, we're going to be doing that? We're going to be doing that? All right. Yeah, in this article here, it starts off talking about a photo shoot. Oh, look how cute they are. Look how adorable they are. Look, guys, it's perfectly normal to dress up like this. And be part of this perfectly normal subculture. It's like Zootopia. It's like Tiny Toons. I'll show all messages. You're a race mixing loser. Okay. If you're trying to ruffle my feathers, you're not going to get that. Anyway. Yeah, they go into this. They go, and there's people who actually identify as these animals. You know, they'll be like, oh, I identify as a wolf. What a gray wolf. Wolf the wolf. Some stupid stuff. I'm Saber Fang, the saber tiger, or whatever. Oh, God, that's horrible. I have a tiger behind me. A lovely, lovely tiger. Who disavows furries, by the way? The furries that come in the chat and watch us and say, hey, that tiger's looking very fantastic. It's not. It eats furries. I know because I talked to it. But yeah, I did do a quick search. Furries at high school. Furries at my school. You will probably not be surprised to find that furrydom is getting into the school. People were freaking out when it was drag queens. Now, when it's cute little furries reading to your kids, what do you do then? So this article, this paragraph is a load of crap. It's just fluff. It's saying photo shoot 6, talking about the picture. Okay, no one cares about that. I don't care about them. A fur pile. They gather on top of each other in a fur pile, in a fur gangbang. All right, let's see. Such public displays of interspecies affection are the currency of Midwest Fur Fest. Interspecies affection. Is that something anyone should be typing? Is that something anyone should be reading? Or talking about? The stream is messed up. I should reset the Should reset the modem or the router. And mainstream media has historically painted furries as sex-crazed, socially maladjusted freaks who enjoy rubbing up against each other in giant bunny costumes. What part of that is incorrect? What part of this sentence is incorrect? The mainstream media has historically painted furries as sex-crazed. That's correct. Socially maladjusted freaks. That's correct. And backed up by their own science. There's actually a fur science. I've looked at those fur science studies. They will say on the surface that Google furries and depression, and the first things you'll see is nothing to see here. Actually, furries are not depressed. If to see here, dive into those studies. I'm waiting for OBS to go back up. Okay. Dive into those studies and you'll see something a little bit different. And you'll see this with any study. Okay. Any study someone shows you, read it, read the actual study itself, not just the conclusion and the discussion section and all that, because that's the part where they will take the stats and they'll frame it in certain ways. Just look at the stats. Look at the numbers and you could see what's really going on there instead of reading what they want you to believe. Even going based on the fur science, where they compared furry subculture to anime subculture to sports fans. This is a real study. They compared it to fantasy sports fans. You know what they found? On the surface level, they say nothing. They say everything's A-okay, everything's fine. But you look at it, it's like, actually, people in the furry community, in the anime community, were reported being more depressed than in the fantasy sport. Normies, like fantasy sports is whatever, people really get into that stuff. But, it's just like, it's expected, So yeah, socially maladjusted freaks. Oh. And one of the studies, I think it's the same one. Yeah, the same one that, no, it was a different one. It was on, I think Psychology Today was talking about it, where there seems to be a link between autism and furries. If you're a furry, you're probably autistic. Chances are high you're probably autistic. So furry, yes, you're probably autistic. I would bet you are autistic, which is it is what it is. I'm not shaming you for that. Okay. But I'm sure you're socially awkward at times, whatever, socially maladjusted. Freaks who enjoy rubbing against each other in giant bunny costumes. That's the only part that seems incorrect. Giant bunny costumes? Oh, it's much worse than giant bunny costumes. And rubbing up against each other? Oh, that's very clean, very nice. The way they worded it there. That's the Disney version of what's really going on. He goes on to say, this is essentially false. Essentially false. Look at that. Look how they put this modifier here. This is essentially false. Meaning that it's partially true, most likely true. It's essentially true. Like most subcultures, the furry fandom is largely internet-driven phenomenon, providing a label for pre-existing feeling that has always lived dormant and unnamed. It hasn't always lived. People weren't dressing like this freak stuff always. But because of the internet, because of linking, connecting like that, it has grown. It has grown. While there is a contingent of furries who do derive sexual pleasure from the subculture, the fan base is much more broad than that. You know, there are a lot of groomers, a lot of predators in the furry community. Why is it that furrydom and like I'm waiting for the okay, I'm green on OBS. Okay, that's thank you, God of OBS. God, I'm doing your work. Come on now. Do you want me to help people, God? Do you want me to put out the message that furry should not be mainstream ever? I don't know what's going on. But anyway, yeah. There's a lot of sex freaks in the furry community. And when I say sex freaks, I mean like the very perverse kind, the one that prey on kids, the ones that will put on costumes that kids gravitate towards, and use like avatars that kids gravitate towards, and they play kid games like Minecraft and Roblox to groom these people, to groom these children. They think nothing of it. They get roped into it, and they think it's fine. It's not fine. It's never fine. I mean, if you ever, just look around. Look at the popular furries. They're deep into some very messed up stuff like bestiality and pedo shit and fucking dead animals and horrible, nasty stuff that you would not like. The people that tend, like, okay, let me say, there are those that may put on a costume every once in a while and think it's fun. But then there are those that are very consumed into the whole thing. And they get at these conventions. You have all sorts of behind closed doors fuckery going on. Gangbangs. And you do have goats being brought in there. Dogs being brought in there. And horrible things are being done to those animals. I mean, the sort of people who invest their time and energy into that lifestyle, they seem to be the same sort that are so open-minded, so progressive, so big-brained that they see nothing wrong with fucking a dead deer. You just Google that up. Okay, it goes on to say, maybe you really like drawing wolves during 8th grade homeroom. Oh, look at that. Maybe you like drawing wolves. You identify as a wolf? You want to be a wolf? I need more whiskey for this. Coomers rise up. If you guys are going to coom, you coom. You make your own decision there. Anyway, maybe you really like drawing wolves in 8th grade homeroom. Maybe you always felt an inexplicable affinity with Tony the Tiger. Oh, Tony the Tiger. Proof that furries ruin everything. Furries ruin Tony the Tiger. Furries pretty much gangbanged on Tony the Tiger until Tony the Tiger's Twitter was taken down. It's crazy. Maybe you've long thought it would be rad to buy a $10,000 curvy hippo costume. If you have $10,000 to spend, you could spend on anything else. I know it's sort of messed up for one man to tell another man how to spend their money, because that is your money. But if that's $10,000 on curvy hippo costumes, what? I mean, these costumes are expensive. You don't fall into this by accident. You know, I'm suspect by that $10,000. You know, the amount of money it takes for these fur costumes, they have to be working a pretty good job are getting the money elsewhere. What else are they doing to raise the money? Because I'm thinking that. I'm thinking they're getting the money elsewhere. Oh, Phantom's Discord? Yeah, that's illegal. Phantom's Discord is probably illegal. It was deleted once already. If you fall into any of these categories, then furries are your kind of people. Furfest. So, look at this here. If you drew wolves, they're saying if you like to draw wolves when you were a kid and you have an affinity towards Tony the Tiger, I was about to say I like Tony the Tiger, but don't take that the wrong way. Frosted Flakes, Tony the Tiger, they're great. Cool mascot. That's it. Doesn't mean I'm a furry. Doesn't mean that furries are my kind of people. Guys, if you like Tony the Tiger, you're a furry. Now, the real question, though, the real indicator here, what they should put it, is if you thought, what's her name? Oh, what the fuck was her name? The Space Jam Bunny. If you thought the Space Jam Bunny was hot, then you might be a furry. That would be an indicator there. If you know about my prior streams, you know about that. As a voiceover to an intro presentation for Fest. Oh, okay. Let me skip all this stuff. Let's get into... Okay. MFF, the Fur Fest, the Midwest Fur Fest, is widely touted as the biggest furry con in the world, and its attendance has increased exponentially in recent years. While the con only saw about 1,000 attendees in 2005, it reportedly more than 10,000 guests in 2018. That's 10,000 people that deserve their own little private island. You can have Epstein's Island for all I care. Have Epstein's Island. Go there. Just all the furries can go to Epstein's Island. How about that? You like that? There you go. And that is part due to the increasing number of young children and their families who gravitating towards a furry culture. How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about that? Families and their children gravitating towards furrydom. The sort of mom and dad that just lets their kid go into one of these furry conventions not knowing any better, they need to do some research on the internet. They need to stop doing their boomer stuff and go deep dive into the darkness of the internet. Go deep dive into that stuff and see what the furry stuff is about. The moms and dads that know better, that know what's going on, that know about the various furries that get caught and grooming and fucking dead animals, or talking about how it's okay to fuck their puppy or whatever, and talk about how it's, I mean, in this, the sort of people you see on the internet that talk about how animals can consent are the same sort of people that see nothing wrong with being a furry. Is there a missing variable there? Or is there a direct link? What's going on? The idea that children are around furries is pretty sickening to me. But I'm not surprised that moms and dads would allow their kids to go be a furry, go to a furry convention, even knowing what could happen there. After all, there were moms and dads that sent their kids over to spend time with Michael Jackson. I know there's moms and dads that put their kids in all sorts of stuff. Put their kids in beauty pageants and things that seem very suspect and very questionable. Let's see. And so, keeping with its increasingly family-friendly image, the fandom has become intent on promoting itself as a beacon of acceptance and inclusivity. Yay, let's be inclusive, guys. MFF is no exception. As a fox named Tiller told me upon check-in, everyone here is welcome except Nazis. No Nazis. This message was particularly salient this year after far-right provocateur Milo Yiannopoulos made some highly public tweets last September to gate crash the convention. Who cares about that? Milo's a Fed. And you might as well have Nazis over at the stupid furry orgy fest. We say no to Nazis, but we say okay dressing up as wolves and tigers and butt-fucking your kids. I mean, grooming your kids to be butt-fucked with the dogs and the goats and all the other stuff. Priorities, right? There were no Nazis at Furfest. Great. But how many pedophiles were there? How many pedophiles? How many pro-bestiality motherfuckers were at that Furfest? I bet you more than 10%. That's a very safe estimate there. That's a very safe bet. Safe bet. It's so cold I can barely even talk. I'm just like shivering right here. And my fingers are freezing. Cold as ice out here. Oh, look, they dress up as Paw Patrol. Oh, that's not great. That's not bad. Right? Nothing to worry about there. A bunch of grown adults dressing as Paw Patrol to get the kids to flock to them. Oh my God. You're Chase. That's right. Chase is on the case. Why don't you follow me to this room? The room is really dark. Oh, we have to investigate. We gotta find the light switch. Where's the light switch? I think it's on me. All right, let's see. Let's go into more about this. They want this to be mainstream. They want this in your kid's face. They want to attach themselves to the LGBTQ stuff, which is, if you know what, go ahead. Let them attach themselves to it. If you want anything that's going to kill the LGBTQ acceptance faster than anything else, let furries attach themselves to it and let them try to go mainstream and let every normal person laugh their fucking ass off and pull their kids out of school and go, you know what? I'm going to homeschool now. I'm going to homeschool. Or send my kids to a private school. Fuck. At its most fundamental level, the concept of anthropomorphism, anthropomorphized, that's a word, huh? Anthropomorphized creatures has its tentacles deep in history. Oh, does it? Further back than furry cons or anime or even a certain relentless chipper, shirtless cartoon mouse. Okay. One of the oldest known works of art, Paleolithic Luanmish sculpture. Do I know what that is? I don't think I know what that is. Depicts a human head on... Oh, wait. Okay, I know what they're talking about. The human head on a lion. Okay. Ancient Egyptians worship us have... Are you talking about that? That sculpture? Fuck you, article. God damn it. The way it's worded like that, it makes it seem like, oh, okay, it's, look, man, furries goes trace all the way back to ancient Egypt. No, it doesn't. Fuck you. Or maybe it's true. Maybe ancient Egypt butt fucked a bunch of animals, and that's why they were purged. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Think ancient Egyptians were a bunch of furries? Think they're a bunch of furries? Ghost of Nicolo says Texas will not secede because Abbott is a homosexual. Well, I agree. Texas will not secede, and Abbott is also a homosexual of the worst kind. In this sense, furries are both one of the oldest fandoms and relatively modern one as well. No, they're so fucking reaching to make themselves legitimate. Guys, the ancient Egyptians were furries. It's a-okay. Well, the Greeks butt fucked kids, and it was a-okay there. Is that the logic? Is that what we want to do? Go, this ancient civilization did some fucked up shit. Let's just do that. Let's just embrace that. You know what? It wasn't too long ago that America had slavery. Let's just bring that back. Let's bring that back. You want to do that? Want to play these fucking stupid games? I swear. And it's like, who the fuck wrote this? Who wrote this piece of shit? Rolling Stone. Who wrote this? By E.J. Dixon. And that's a fucking fake name. All right, let's see. The advent of the internet, especially furry-related message boards and IRC channels, which should have all been nuked. If anything is more harmful to the kids, it's gonna be that stuff. Stuff should have been nuked. Look, if big tech is gonna censor stuff, they might as well. They don't care about the kids. Big tech doesn't care about the kids. Twitter loves CP. Twitter loves child porn. That's a fact. We talked about that before as well. Twitter, Jack Dorsey would rather keep child pornography on the Twitter sphere than anyone who's questioning the election, or anyone who ever wore a MAGA hat, or anyone who ever used hashtag MAGA before. Okay. All right. So you got your priorities straight. Entertain kid fuckers. But, okay. In the broader landscape of fan culture, furries are relatively unique. Are they? Let's see. While Star Trek and Star Wars and Star Trek and Star Wars fandom, I'm not going to consider the brony. Star Trek and Star Wars fandom, I don't hear a lot of degeneracy coming from them. Star Trek is pretty much dead. Star Wars, I hear a lot of crying and reeing over the quality of the movies, which they suck now. And I agree. But, I mean, do I really care other than, the new movies suck? I mean, what do you expect? Woke trash is everywhere. Now, I like how they mentioned brony, the brony stuff. The My Little Pony fans, the grown-ass adults that dress up as My Little Pony characters, in my mind, they're furries. They're fucking furries. Am I wrong there? How is a My Little Pony brony not a fucking furry? And I have heard some degenerate stuff coming from their stuff. Now, I don't know what sort of crazy stuff happened with Star Trek stuff. I don't know. I don't know about its fandom. Let's see. Here's a quotation here. Being a furry isn't about being a fan of a person or a group of people, says Matt Berger, media relations lead for MFF. We're fans of each other here. Fans of each other. I mean, they're blowing each other and they're butt fucking each other. That's what they're doing. Furries are approach the fandom from different vantage points. While some enjoy dressing up as their personas, others prefer consuming animal-inspired fan art. Oh, you mean like deviant art stuff? I like how it doesn't go into detail about the fan art, while others still enjoy the camaraderie inherent with the community. Okay, all right. Yeah, they like to hang out in their little fur costumes. What? Why is it? Okay. Something caught me off guard here in this article. The only uniting characteristic of furries is that you need to really like animals. That's basically it. No joke, huh? You really have to like animals. If you want to become a furry, you have to really love your dog and cat. Like, you have to love your dog and cat. Gotta love your animals. This is from a 38-year-old librarian with a passing facial and auditory resemblance of that of young Elizabeth Warren. Oh, so nice. You could just like to pet cats and be a furry. You could like to draw and make money and go to dealer's den. You know what makes the most money for artists? Drawing deviant art. There's people that've gone to art school, they did all that, and they studied. They're really good artists. They have a lot of talent. You know what they end up drawing instead if they want to make good money? Dicks. A bunch of dogs with a bunch of cum. A bunch of bukkake cum dripping from big, large, throbbing cocks attached to horses, dogs, goats, cows, whatever the fuck, whatever they can think of. It is some nasty stuff. Let's see. Let's go further in this article here. The character should also be imbued with personality, which doesn't necessarily have to be identical to of your own, which, like, what? So I guess the character you dress up as should have its own personality. It doesn't have to be your personality. You're a totally different person. You put in that costume. Oh, now you're something else. Now you can do whatever you want. No one knows who you are. Totally ambiguous. Oh, you're just a goofy little dog. You're just being curious. You're just sniffing other asses. You're just being a dog. Wait, Phantom? Wait. Was Phantom interviewed for this? The character should also be imbued with personality, which doesn't necessarily have to be identical to of your own. And in quotes, says, you adopt a character who personifies the traits you want, says Phantom, a 32-year-old purple fox with multicolored racing stripes. Is that Phantom? No fucking way. First off, that's not his real name. There's no way that's his fucking real name. And I don't think it's actually Phantom. It would be fucking hilarious if it was. He goes on to say, at first it was supposed to be a character who's braver and more appealing than I am in my human self, but after some time it becomes more like you, or more like a friend. Oh God, this is fucking horrible. And they're putting this out there. They're putting this out there in Rolling Stone. Read this. Man, talk about turning into absolute trash. Developing a persona usually starts with creating or commissioning art of your character. If you can't draw, you can hire an amateur artist on Twitter to sketch a rendering for as little as 10 to 20. Okay. Interesting. I don't care about that. Let's see. And also because learning how to navigate the world in suit is itself a challenge because the suits heat up extremely quickly. Well, isn't that a problem? Maybe you shouldn't be wearing those suits then. You know, you heat up quickly in the suits. That might be God's way of saying, don't wear those suits. What are you doing? Then they're very flammable too. I've seen some videos of they dress up in a fursuit and they put a pentagram around them. They light that shit on fire. And they're surprised when they catch on fire. Oh, Mr. Deadman, you're just making shit up. No, I'm not. I'm not making that shit up. And if you don't believe me, you can find that video yourself. It's on Kiwi Farms. Let's see. Furries at cons, they pass out because the heat from the heat stroke or alcohol poisoning or a combination thereof. Oh, you wouldn't surprise me with that, huh? A lot of alcohol consumption in a fursuit, of course. Of course. I'm not always an alcoholic, but my furry is. My fursona, he's an alcoholic. I don't always smoke meth, but my fursona is definitely a meth head. That's really how they justify and rationalize butt fucking dogs. They put on their fursona as a dog, and they'd be like, everything's fine. I look like a dog. No. No, absolutely not. It goes on to say that many furries have special needs, such as anxiety or autism spectrum diagnosis, which I said before, there's a science behind furries and which furries are doing the science. So if you ever have a furry who cites any of those studies, read their study because they're probably citing it incorrectly. Even their own science, even their own science shows that they fail. That they're flawed, that they're fucked up. But they'll tell you otherwise. Let's see. And there is a link between being a furry and being autistic. And of course, there's a link between winning a fursona and anxiety. I mean, we're talking about socially awkward people. It happens. That's, okay. So you put on this fursona, put on this costume, and you could be who you are supposed to be. You're freer. You could be anything else. Because you are removing you from it. Let's see. Okay. For those people donning a fursuit can be nothing short of social bomb. Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. You know exactly what I just talked about. Goes on to say here, my interaction with people has always been awkward, and I don't know how to make conversation, says Vanilla23. Obviously a fake name. A lavender husky with autism. But with animals, you don't have to put up a front or anything like that. Appearing in fursuits takes the pressure off her to interact with people verbally, which can be difficult for people with autism. People don't go, oh, she's awkward, but oh, she's cute. Wow. Look at this. So it's advocating, hey, are you socially awkward? Are you a socially awkward individual? Well, maybe what you need, instead of maybe some therapy or counseling or whatever it is, to kind of navigate your situation, what you need is a fursuit and a fursona. Imagine that. Let's see. Art to quote a gray-haired woman at the autism panel. For 3 days, I am not autistic. For 3 days, I am a anthropomorphic version of the Titanic. And I'm just being a dork. Okay, now she's obviously someone's grandma and she's off her fucking meds. I don't know what's going on. Dressed up as a Titanic? Are you... What? Shut up. There's not people who dress up as a fucking Titanic. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Are you... If I found out my grandma was dressing up as a Titanic, there would be some problem. I don't have to worry about that because my grandma's dead. There's that. But if I found out that my mom was dressing up as a Titanic, what? What are you doing? What? That doesn't make any... An anthropomorphic version of the Titanic. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh my God. As a staffer told me on my first day, furries are not Nazis. No, they're worse than Nazis, actually. They're worse. Oh, that's very mean. Nazis killed a bunch of Jews. Yeah, you're right. They did. They did. A bunch. And it's horrible what they did. Fuck Nazis. But also fuck furries, too. Furries fuck kids. And they fuck animals. And they fuck dead animals. And they cope with their anxiety and their autism by putting on personas to... Whatever. What happened to just being a fucking weeb, dude? It used to be, oh, I see an anime dork, be like, yeah, they're socially awkward. They could cosplay some shit. Whatever. Go fuck run around as if like you're Naruto or some shit. I don't know. Let's see. What else does this article say? It is perhaps the existence of the subgroup that initially prompted Milo Yiannopoulos, blah, blah. I don't care about that. We'll pass that. The backlash is still going on about that stuff. Let's see. Such bad press, however, has not nearly been detrimental to the fandom as the widespread perception of that furries, for lack of a better term, fuck. Well, yeah, furries fuck. Furries fuck in their fucking fursuits. Out in the open, in their conventions. Look at this. Look at this furry rave. This is what's happening. They're fucking each other in the fucking... They are butt fucking right there in the fucking on the dance floor. You think Baked Alaska was a furry? Oh, he totally would do this. Nick Fuentes would totally do this. Take a big horse cock up the ass. He definitely would. Chaggett would definitely do it. Is it true that Chaggett was sodomized by Baked Alaska? That's embarrassing if that's true. Mr. Dimon got fat in 5 years. Dude, I've been fat for 10 years. You have not been following. I've been fat since I started this channel. As Sting points out, with the context of fandom culture as a whole, furries tend to get something of a bum rap in this regard. Let's see, it goes on to say, anime cons and comic cons sell not-safe for work porn comics and body pillows. They do. And anime conventions are pretty fucking crazy in the degenerate stuff. Like when I covered the Vic Mignogna stuff, I was like, from my personal experience, I know it's just anecdote here, but I've been to a number of cons, anime conventions, and when I go there, it's I see some stuff, a lot of stuff. Very hands-free, hands-free, very handsy is what I should say, and boundaries just don't exist. And it goes on to say that yet it's only the furries that are labeled as adult. Well, look at what furries do, man. You look up furry on Twitter, and what do you see? Let's take that. Well, actually, let me take this off the screen while I take this test. Let me just go to Twitter right now, and if I search hashtag furry, what do I find? I can't screen this part. Hashtag furries. What do I find? All right. Amber Dumb Weasel. Dork, dork, dork. Ooh, you smell nice. Already fucking grooming and weird shit behavior on TikTok. That's the second thing I saw. Oh, the third thing I see is, what is this? V commissioned by anonymous only. I'm the Bayou Mona Lisa chomp a hater into pieces. Had to hex some lion witches and circle demons. What the fuck am I looking at here? What the shit is this shit? The fuck? And of course, it's I can't show this on screen. Actually, I can. This would be, YouTube would even know what the fuck to make out with this. This is the third thing I see. What the fuck is this? It's an alligator wearing a fucking thong. Are you serious? The first thing I see is this. Who cares about this? Oh, all right. Now it refreshed. Okay. Walks are super important, but they're nothing's quite like a foot paw massage after. Care to help? Already you get some creepy ass. I'm a guy in a fursuit. Come massage my paw. Oh my god. Get that out of here. The second thing I see is like, all right, we're getting weirder. We're getting weirder. We're getting weirder. Oh, okay. Now we're definitely in the weird. And is this one? This one looks promoted. Cutie for adoption. It's not promoted. I'm surprised. He got this shit going on here. This adoptable, whatever the freak that is. Man, I am like worried about scrolling any further. Okay. Oh no. This stuff attracts kids. It baits them because it's colorful. It's all like, animals. Okay, I'm not scrolling any further. This is cancer. This is fucking cancer. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with that. I see modern cartoons is basically normalized. Yeah, we've been using animals in cartoons for quite some time. But the act of actually dressing up as these anthropomorphic characters out in the open and to do whatever, whenever. That's the part that should not be normalized. Ever. But watch, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Let's see. It's as easy as it is to generalize that it's just a sex thing. I find it's a minority and a very vocal one at that. Says Wishfoot, who was polled on the community on the question. He's found that 60% of furries did not find it sexual at all. Nothing sexual about butt fucking each other in the ass. Nothing sexual about that at all. That's normal. We're not doing anything sexual. Our personas are. While the remaining 40% largely restrict themselves to enjoying non-safe for work. If that was an honest assessment, that's still quite a bit. That 40%. What is that at the convention? Is that 40% at the convention itself? What are they doing? What are they doing? God, who wants to know what they're doing? No one wants to know what they're doing. But you gotta expose that shit. Light is supposed to be a disinfectant. Light is supposed to be a disinfectant. But what it seems to be more and more, you show this stuff, and people go, okay, I'm in. Watch. Actually, no. Normal people, they see this stuff, they hear about this stuff, and they're like, what? They hear about the fucked up shit the furries do. They hear about this stuff, they're like, yeah, I don't want anything to do with that. I don't want my kids to have anything to do with that. Which is why you have articles like this from the Rolling Stone. Yeah, and this article was... Oh, now it's talking about LGBTQ. Yeah, let them latch on to that. Let furries and let pedos latch on to LGBTQ and let it sink with that. Watch. Already with the LGBTQ. Look, I'm not a big when I say this. Like, if you do you. You're lesbian, you're gay, you're bi, you're trans, queer, whatever. You do you. Okay? But the last thing I want on there, last thing anybody wants on there, actually two things, furries and pedos. People in those groups, the L group, the G group, the B, the T, the Q, they're not all unified. They're not all fighting for the same thing. Especially the L and the T. The L and the T do not get along. The L and the T, they have some issues. The G and the B have some issues. The B and the T have some issues. They all have issues with the Q. What's going on with the Q? It should be wrong to point that out. It's not wrong to point that out. You know, there's issues there. But yeah, they attach the P and they attach the F to that. Then people really wake up. Wait, what? You want us to defend what now? You want us to accept and tolerate what now? Yeah, that ain't happening. At least I'd hope not. Let's see. Historically, there has been some tension between those on the non-safe for work and the safe for work side of the fandom. I talked about that earlier in the stream. The early 2000s saw the formation of a small subgroup fiercely devoted to reducing what it viewed as perversion within the community. So you got furries that wanted to purge the bad furries. Okay. Known as burned furs. It is now relatively small. There is a not some substantial number of furries that share the overall goal. See, okay, so you had a small group that was devoted to purging the bad furries. You had a small group devoted to purging the bad furries. They were called the burned furries. And that group has gotten smaller over the years. Because the not safe for work, the perversion, the perverted side, it takes hold. It takes over. Yeah. There's a reason for that. It's right there. And guys, if you really want to know, why don't you just go to Phantom's Discord and you could see what it looks like there. Yeah, I think I'm done with this article. Going mainstream? No. It should never do that. If they want to try, let them try. I want to see what happens when they get laughed at. But watch what happens. You might have Biden or Kamala Harris actually praise furries and be like, "Yeah, let's praise furries." I have no idea. I wouldn't doubt it. You watch. All right. Well, I think I'll wrap this stream up here. It is freezing and it's midnight. I am going to bed. That's what I'm doing. I just wanted to cover this. I saw this. I was like, I got to talk about this. It's between this or some Destiny drama. Destiny and open relationships. I'll save that for later. How open relationships is not a good at shots. Pass the time for shots, son. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out and watching this. I hope you guys have a good time, and I think all you guys already subbed or whatever. I know you probably don't agree with everything I say, and that's fine. I'm just one guy. We all have different opinions and different ideas, but every now and then, I'm pretty sure I say something you definitely fucking feel. You feel it, man. You feel it. Just remember that. Remember that. And remember, not everything I say is meant to be taken seriously. All right. You guys have a good one. Y'all take it easy. Oh, Space Marines. Ah, shit. Space Marines, Space Marines, Space Marines. Wait. You guys want Space Marines? Oh, that's embarrassing. I showed how many people were watching. That's so sad. Only 11 people. That's okay. I don't care about that. Let's go look at Space Marines. We have to end the stream with that. No, not a cock tease. Not a cock tease. Just forgot. Okay, for Apocalypse, the furry disease. Let's watch this one.
Flash kids.
Okay, here we go.
I think I love you, Bubblegum. Oh, Dark Wolf. You, me, right here in Furry Forest. This is everything. They fell right into our big gay trap. Now, guys!
Oh, hey!
Their numbers know no end, brother!
Brother!
Avenge me, brother! Brother, avenge me! No mercy.
No mercy. That's good. It probably buffered a lot, but that was good. No mercy. No mercy. You're surrounded by furries. You know what to do. Anyway, you guys take it easy. We'll do the Vosh Destiny stuff later. And actually, I was going to talk about open relationships with Destiny because I like how he talks about open relationships being based or whatever when things aren't perfect. They're far from perfect in his little his little polyamorous relationship with his Millennia, is that her name? Yeah. Some streams I was listening to, paying attention to. What about that? Later. Anyway, y'all take it easy. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe and don't be a furry.